before that I think was helpful for some guys because they never thought about it, is this idea of layering. So in worship services, let's just talk about like a slow song that we would do. Normally there's going to be your introduction and your first verse, and that's going to be nice and low, and then you go into the chorus, we might drop out and go back to the first verse. You might use the same exact beat, but you might be able to layer something additional on so there's a little bit of differentiation. Maybe you accent it slightly different, or you add in a little bit of some open hi-hat or something, okay? Then you bring it back to the chorus that second time, and it's probably going to be in full. Where we see a lot of lack of creativity might be once we get to parts where we're really building and we get to a bridge, or let's say we do that chorus once and then we're going to repeat that chorus and then we're going to repeat it again. And it's supposed to be building. If you don't plan on how you're going to layer in and add in, most likely by subtracting the first time you go through, you've got nowhere to go. And the only way that you can add to that is through volume. And that's actually the worst way to do it. And so what I end up seeing is basically, maybe it's 3 levels. You have totally off, like we would do on the chorus the first time through, where you kind of crash out and then there's just nothing. And then you would have, there's a beat, and then it's all in, and there's nothing in between. What you should be able to do is to play and add on, raise the intensity without the volume ever increasing. So you might do that by doubling the kick. Let's say you're doing a song where the first time through the bridge, actually the first time through, we're just doing the kick. And then we start throwing in the second time through, we've added snare, and it's noticeably, there's something happening here. And then we're ready to build it, the repeating it again. Let's double the kick. We've still got room. Then I have a thing I call it the war toms or battle tom. So you could move in, you could start doing toms over the top of that. We still haven't gotten to the cymbals. Right. And then you could move to 8th notes where you're doing snare, floor tom, and kick in sync. That will raise the intensity. And as a final sort of level, you could add in like ride or something to do the final build. But it actually works the best if you stay off the cymbals the whole time. And then at the very end, you're building, let's say, with your high tom and your floor tom. Or as you kind of bring that to a close, you move from there to both floor toms, so it's more lower end, and then boom. That's when you finish it, you hit both cymbals, and you're back to wherever. But you have a plan for how you're going to add in, rather than just getting to, let's say, 60 miles per hour that first time through. And so I see a lot of that where we're not layering in on the top. We're not leaving any room for building. And then as a result, and many times also we build a little bit too fast as drummers. You can get familiar with these songs, and since you just go from A to B, these are the 2 speeds, then you move into this high intensity thing too early. And that leaves a lot on the table then too, because you've got to play that thing like, if they repeat it, well, you got to do that same thing again because you haven't left any room. So just be thinking about that as you play, as you practice. Try to simplify it down, like the first time through that bridge. Do just the bare minimum and listen to what they're playing on the recordings, because they always have that sort of idea in mind. But it doesn't have to be about replicating the recording as much as just having a plan for how you're going to build. And it's not rocket science.